Hi, everybody. Charlie O here. Welcome back to Make the Money and Run. And oh, yes, once again, it's me and you, Vasu Vadaparty on assignment, Casey Freelove on assignment. And man, do I miss those guys. And first of all, I have to give a shout out to Vasu because in my other job as a radio producer uh, at ESPN 1320 in Sacramento, I handle a lot of our technical things. So one of the things Vasu does for me in this particular situation is that he doesn't make me do the technical things for this show. He gives me a relief from that. So I'm used to just kind of running in here about a minute and a half before we go live, sitting down and getting ready to talk. And he does all these things. He does the banners at the bottom. He does the odds. He does all those things for us. Well, he's on assignment. So he's not here for me to do those things. And let me tell you, there's a lot to do. So if everything at the bottom's not as flashy today as it has been, and it's not going to be, it's because Vasu's not here. So if you want to use our Twitter account or our Facebook account or whatever to just kind of say, hey, Vasu, thanks for making everything look so nice, please do so. Because when I talk to him later today, I'm going to go, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because it's a lot of work. It really is. And let me tell you, doing this, I know he does this thing solo from time to time. And there's so much content, and trying to edit out in your head what you want to do and trying to be interesting, that's really tough. So there's a lot of content. What we're going to do is we're just going to talk about it and try to get through as much as we can. I hope you enjoyed the draft last night. I loved it. More than anything else, I loved it because when we got to the third pick, 75% of the mock drafts went poof. And that's great. Don't get me wrong. I love mock drafts. I read every one of them. I go through them. I try to do my own mock draft in my head. I never publish a mock draft, frankly, because I don't have the time to do the kind of in-depth study that those guys that do the mock drafts do in order to make them worthwhile for somebody else to read. But I just love it when they get there and they make a left turn and they get off the freeway and they go down the boulevard and everybody goes, what just happened? So everything started off exactly like we thought it was. It was The Price is Right. Trevor Lawrence, come on down, and that went right. The Jets took Zach Wilson, which we're all going to watch very closely because there's a lot of football experts, if you will, that are wondering whether or not he will be the guy that can get them to the promised land. And it is the Jets. And when it's the Jets, we always know that it's a crapshoot. So we'll have to see. I love Robert Saleh. He was here with the 49ers for a lot of years. And, you know, we never make any bones about, we try to come at this show from a matter of neutrality, but we also never make any bones about who we root for. And I've been a 49ers fan for a long time. 49ers are my team. I don't always wager on the 49ers because if you're wagering and you're wagering because they're your team, you're in deep trouble. Stop right there. If you're wagering because they look like a good wager, then that's fine. But if you're wagering because they're your guys, you're in trouble. So stop it. Robert Saleh is a good guy, and I hope it works out for him in New York. I have a lot of friends who are Jets fans. Our sibling station in New York, WFAN, is the flagship station for the Jets. And I would love for my friends there who have to cover the Jets on a day in and day out basis. And of course, we were talking yesterday about the fact that the NFL is 365. That I'd love for it to be a positive thing for them for a change. So it would be fun to see that go. So anyway, we'll see where the Zach Wilson go. Of course, we got to the third pick. What happened? Come on down, man. No, no, no. It's Trevor Lawrence. And one of the things that we shared with you yesterday was that with the 49ers, you never know what the 49ers are going to do. Why? Because they're a close to the vest team. They just don't tell you what's going on. They don't leak. If you are a leaker inside the 49ers organization, you don't work in the 49ers organization. That's just the bottom line. You don't work in the 49ers organization if you're a leaker. And they didn't leak it. And so Trey Lance is the guy. Trey Lance is out there, and he's now going to be the heir apparent. The popular thinking is that means Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be around another season because they don't think they're going to throw Lance right into the fire. I don't know. Who knows? Again, it's the 49ers. They don't leak their plans. So we'll just have to see what goes on with that at this point. Are the 49ers out of the Aaron Rodgers bidding war? Who knows? It's the 49ers. They don't tell us anything. You never know what's going on in that front office. So there could be more to come. We never know. But I love it. I'm not against the pick at all. It does create a difference for them. I thought Todd McShay's evaluation of it was that Shanahan lost in a Super Bowl in Atlanta because he didn't have a mobile quarterback. He lost against Kansas City because he didn't have a mobile quarterback, and now he's got a mobile quarterback. So we'll have to see how it works out. I loved Casey's tweet message that he sent me when he said, coming up at number 4, Kyle Pitts, the best pick in the draft. And you know what? I think he's absolutely right. I think we're going to look back on this draft. We're going to look at number 4. We're going to look at Atlanta and say, man, they got the best player in all the draft. This guy is going to be a monster. He's going to come out starting as a monster, and he's going to be a monster all the way through because he's not just a tight end. He's a great pass catcher. And for years and years and years, we're going to look at this guy and go, wow, what a great pick. Now it's going to be up to the Falcons to come up with somebody that can throw the ball to him because it's not going to be Matt Ryan for much longer. But what a great pick he's going to be. One of the things that we talked about yesterday was the possibility of the first 10 picks being all on offense. That did not happen. At number 8, that made a right turn. J.C. Horn from South Carolina, a defensive back, got picked by Carolina. At number 9, defensive back from Alabama, Patrick Surtain II. He got picked, so that went awry. So that, and there was some prop bets out on that. So if you went first 10 all offense, sorry, you lost. And again, we told you on those prop bets, have fun, just don't bet the farm on that. And then the other thing that we talked about was the running backs who would be picked, and it went Harris, Etienne, and how did it go? I'm sorry here. It went Harris, Etienne, and who was my third one? Were they the only 2 in the first round? I guess that's true. So we haven't had the third one yet. So there you go. There's the first 2 that have picked, and number 3 waiting to be picked. So there we go. There was a prop bet out there on that. So we'll have to see how that goes. So it's pretty dynamic. Hope your team got who you wanted. The other thing that was in there, what's going on in Las Vegas? Have they all lost their minds there? The Raiders, with their pick at number 17, took Alex Leatherwood, an offensive lineman out of Alabama. Have nothing against him. Have nothing against linemen out of Alabama. Alabama's a great school, great football school, do a lot of great things. But everybody says that he could have been had in the second round, maybe even the third round. And the Raiders thing is always, well, we had our guy and we wanted to make sure we got him. What? Really? That organization is such a mess. I don't understand what Gruden's doing. I Mike Mayock, that organization is out of control. They are just out of control. I don't get them. I don't get them at all. One fascinating thing yesterday from the draft, and then we're going to bounce out of the draft, was the matchups yesterday. Reunited. Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne will be in Jacksonville together, coming out of Clemson. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are going to match up in Cincinnati. I think that's kind of cool. Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Waddle will be together in Miami, and Jalen Hurts and Devonta Smith will be together in Philly. So those are kind of fun. I like to see. Oh, and Mac Jones and Damian Harris will be together in New England. So those are kind of fun little factoids that are there. And I've got one other thing that I wanted to mention, if I can find it. Well, I know what it is off the top of my head. The SEC yesterday, 12 picks in the first round. Now, Casey's always preaching to us about how strong the SEC is. And you know what? We give him a bad time, but he's absolutely right. The SEC is so strong. 12 picks in the first round. That is only exceeded by last year when they had 15 picks in the first round. And I don't know why college conferences from around the country and the Major Five and all of the other things can't look at the SEC and figure out what they're doing. Because I try to be a creative guy, but let me tell you what I really am. I'm a creative stealer. I like to look at what other successful organizations are doing, and as long as it's not copyrighted or patented and owned by somebody else, I like to copy and paste because my mind is finite. And if I can find something else that somebody else is doing that is successful, and I can copy and paste that and do the same thing and move myself along, I want to do that. So there is no reason that a program like Michigan, and I'm even going to throw Notre Dame in that mix. Ohio State, I'm going to keep out of it because they seem to have been able to stay there. Another program that needs to figure out what's going on is Nebraska. Nebraska at one time was such a successful program, and they've just gone in the toilet. But even I'm going to put Oklahoma and Texas in that same bag. The programs in the Big 12, with the exception of Texas A&M, who seems to have kind of figured out what's going on. Miami, for heaven's sakes, is in that program. A once great football program that's really fallen off. USC, UCLA, Arizona State. These are some great football programs that need to look at the SEC and say, what are these guys doing? Now, I know what the immediate thing is going to be is, well, they just have more money than everybody else. Well, okay, so they do. One of the reasons why they have more money than anybody else is because they're putting a great product on the field and everybody wants to watch it. Okay, so maybe you can't do all 10 great things that they're doing, but maybe you can do the top 3 things that they're doing. So start there. But every other football conference in America needs to look at whatever the SEC is doing and say, we can do some of those things to lift ourselves up and make ourselves better. Because when you have 12 first round picks in the NFL draft, you're doing something really, really well. And there you go. Hats off to the SEC. And Casey, salute, pal. You're really right. I wished you were here today so I could give you your true props. Casey Freelove, SEC fan, SEC prognosticator, always telling us what it is. By the way, the hat today. Just got to mention the hat. This is my lucky hat. I do wear this hat on. I have about 6 different hats I wear on St. Patrick's Day. But if today becomes our lucky day on our picks and everything else, this will become the Lucky Friday hat that we'll wear every Friday. So you'll have to give me some feedback on whether it works or not. So let me know if it works. we will use that and wear it every Friday then, and we'll go from there and see how it works. Okay, so keep me informed on that and where that goes. By the way, lots more draft. I think it's rounds 2 to 4 today, and then 5 through 7 tomorrow. And if you're hardcore, watch that. You'll enjoy it. If you're sort of an NFL fan, read it on your favorite sports site. There'll be everything will be broken down. Everything will be there. But I got to tell you, folks, history says that everybody that was taken in the first round, uh, not all of those folks will have that much impact. Uh, a guy like Pitts, yeah, he's going to have impact. Okay, he will. Some of those guys on the line will have a lot of impact and long careers. But some of those other guys, they're going to be who went in the first round. But a lot of those folks that get drafted in the third round, the fifth round, the sixth round, are going to wind up over the years, over the next 3 to 5 years, starting to have major impact in the National Football League. And as they do, you're going to say, what round did they get drafted in? That is the science of the draft. That is the importance of the scouting system, because it's not just the flash guy. It's not the guy that comes out and gets to hug the commissioner. That's not always the person. In fact, it's very seldom the person that really makes your team and gets your team to the Super Bowl. Okay? So at least go back. If you don't have time to watch it all, at least go back and read the roundups, and particularly read the roundups about your team, because you're going to learn about where your team's going to go over the next while and see what's happening. Okay, let's move on to the National Basketball Association. A lot of things happening there. We don't want to leave anybody out there, so let's move on to the NBA. Some crazy, crazy things last night. Kevin Porter Jr., youngest guy to ever score 50 points in a game. It was a double-double, 50 points, 11 assists, and 5 rebounds. Whoa. That's nuts. It's really nuts. Kevin Durant last night. The other two of the big three weren't available. So Kevin said, all right, give me the ball. I'll take care of it. 42 points, 10 assists, 3 rebounds. I think Kevin's healthy again. That's a little scary, but it looks like he's okay. Tim Hardaway Jr. Gosh, I love that guy. I really do. And we really don't think about him enough. He just kind of doesn't get the acknowledgement, because he's one of those I guess maybe blue collar guy that we like to talk about. I just got to jump over. Kristen Nee just made mention that Tom Brady was a 199 pick in the draft. Christine, you're absolutely right. That's an important fact to mention, that Tom was a 199 in the draft. That's an excellent point to remember on that. But Tim Hardaway Jr., really good night. Drew Holiday had 29 last night for Milwaukee. Chris Middleton had 33. They had to have that because Giannis went down last night with an ankle again. They're going to evaluate the ankle today to see how that's going. So it's not broken, and it doesn't look like it's going to be anything that's going to put him out of the playoffs. But they had to pick it up, and that's one of the interesting thing about the Bucks is they will pick things up when Giannis goes down. I don't think they've got enough there to carry it without him. But if he would have to sit down on a playoff game or something, the Bucks have enough talent to pick it up on at least a temporary basis. Stephen Curry last night. Steph, oh yeah, just a regular night for him. 37 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Ricky Rubio, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Is Ricky Rubio the most up and down guy that ever played in the NBA? I mean, he came into the NBA out of Spain, and he was going to be a Hall of Famer, superstar, and the guy has just been the hardest guy to ever figure out in the NBA. He really has. He seems likable. I mean, yeah, and I've always, for some reason, really wanted the guy to do well, and you just can't figure him out. You just can't figure him out. Games last night. The Nuggets beat the Raptors 121 to 111. Uh, Ananobi had 25 in that one. The Joker had 11 rebounds. The Mavs, with Hardaway Jr. leading the way, beat the Pistons 115 to 105. Other games, Minnesota beat Golden State. What's up with the Timberwolves? The T-Wolves all of a sudden are like the toughest team in the NBA. It's crazy. Don't they know they're supposed to be tanking so they can get the number one pick? I don't know what's the matter with them. 126, 114, they won. Curry, as we mentioned, 37 points, and had Towns had 11 rebounds. The Pelicans beat Oklahoma City 109-95. Williamson, 27 points in that game. So there you go on that one. Just taking a quick look at the standings right now, we have not a whole lot of change going on. We do have some teams that have clinched into the playoffs. In the East, Brooklyn and Philadelphia are now clinched into the playoffs. Shocker. And then as we look down now at the play-in teams, Boston and Miami are tied for sixth. They are at 33 and 30. And you know that the Celtics do not want to be in that play-in. But I got to tell you, they're playing like a team that's going to wind up in the play-in. They've got to. I don't know what's going on there. They got to suck it up. You know, we were all a little surprised that they didn't do more at the trade deadline, and they're missing something there. We know they had some COVID, and there may be some carryover there, maybe some of that long-termer stuff going on. But that team's just not right. It's just, they're not playing like a Brad Stevens team. Something's just not right there. But they're in danger of going into the, having to go into the play-in. Right now, in the play-in, Charlotte, Indiana, and the Wizards. Charles Barkley told us, watch the Wizards, and now they're in there. They are 2 games up on Chicago in that situation. So Chicago's starting to fade a little bit, and then you've got Toronto, Cleveland, Orlando, and Detroit. Cleveland, Orlando, and Detroit are about to become elimination teams there. So that's getting into that situation. In the West, Utah and Phoenix have now clinched playoff spots. Again, no surprise there, especially because Utah has the best record in all of the NBA. Right now, the play-in teams are Portland, Memphis, San Antonio, and Golden State. New Orleans is now 3 games out of the play-in. They're fading a little, although Golden State's lost 2 in a row. So that's got to be a bit of a concern to the Warriors. Sacramento technically is still in it, but did you see they got bombed the other night by Utah? Lost by 50? I mean, that was ugly. That is just terrible. And then Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and Houston are now officially out of the playoffs. Can't win. So there you go. They're done there, and that's out. So tonight's games, you got Utah at Phoenix, which that's much watched TV, huh? I mean, it's got to be there. And then you've got, you know what? Let me do this. I need to bring this up here. This is inside baseball when you're working by yourself here. I got to bring some odds up, and you know what happens when you want to do this. All of the protections for your phone that want to make everything go to sleep makes the phones go to sleep. So here we go. So let's go through this tonight with the odds. We mentioned the Jazz and the Suns. Phoenix is the favorite there, -4.5. Other games tonight, the Hawks are at the 76ers. The Philly is a favorite there, -9.5. The Spurs are at the Celtics. That's an important game for both teams because the Spurs need to try to move up a little bit in that play-in situation. Boston, the favorite there, -4.5. Boy, you might want to, if you're interested in that game, you might want to sit down and take a serious look at the Spurs on that one because the Celtics have been so up and down, if you will. Wizards at Cavaliers. The Wizards, that's an important game there. Washington is favored -6.5. The Trailblazers are at the Nets. Interestingly enough, Portland is the favorite there, -2.5. I think the thinking is since Durant played last night, he might not play tonight, and I think all big three will probably be out of that game. Check the injury list, check the availability list before you make any moves on any wagers there. Magic are at the Grizzlies. Memphis, the favorite there, -12.5. The Bucks are at the Bulls. Milwaukee's the favorite, -1. Check on Giannis, see what's the situation there. And then the Kings are at the Lakers. The Lakers -10. That's not a real surprise there either. So that one other thing that I wanted to talk about, percentage-wise, this is from Basketball Reference right now, getting into the playoffs. Washington, I'm just looking at the lower ones right now coming in. They're saying that Boston is a 96% chance, almost 97% chance of making the playoffs. Miami, 81%. Charlotte, 60%. Indiana, 40%. Washington, 14%. And then Toronto, 4%. So everything else is done from there. Looking over in the West, Portland, a 74% chance. Memphis, 69%. Golden State, just a 33% chance. If you're a Warriors fan, that doesn't make you happy. San Antonio, 23% chance. And then the Pelicans, a 3.5% chance. Sacramento, Oklahoma City. Well, okay, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, Houston are eliminated. And Sacramento, they're saying you have that much chance of making the playoffs. All right, let's move on to baseball. By the way, you're watching Make the Money and Run. I am Charlie O. I normally am here with Vasu Vadaparty and Casey Freelove, both those guys on assignment. It's much more interesting when they are here with me. But I'm glad you're here with me today. Thanks for indulging me. I wish we could have a two-way conversation because it would be a whole lot more fun. But I am just pretending that we are here together. Well, no, I'm not pretending because I know you're out there. I can see that you're watching. So thank you for being here. I really enjoy that, and we're just chatting about things. This is all about sports, and then we approach it from a wagering point of view, and we are learning together about wagering. Again, what we want you to do is we want you to have fun with wagering. This is not about making you super rich. This is about wagering and having fun and making some money. And so that's what it's about. We do research. We learn together. We try to answer questions, and it's about having fun. So that's what we're trying to do here together. And as Casey would say, it's also about us getting it legalized in California. Yeah, lots of luck to us. Okay, baseball. Baseball yesterday. Some crazy things happening yesterday. Trey Mancini for the Orioles went 3 for 4, had a home run, 2 RBIs, and scored a run. Way to go, Trey. And by the way, Baltimore playing much better than we anticipated. Huh? That's kind of crazy. Moncada for the White Sox, 2 for 3, home run, 3 RBIs, and a run. And I'm just going to mention this all together because they go together. Madrigal for the White Sox, 3 for 3, 1 RBI, 2 runs. And then Vaughn, oh yeah, White Sox, 3 for 4, 2 runs. Garcia, oh yeah, White Sox, 2 for 4, 3 RBI, 2 runs, a stolen base. We told you the White Sox were going to be good. Well, that's starting to happen. Yeah, they are coming on like gangbusters there. So That's really happened. David Peralta for the Diamondbacks, 3 for 5, had a couple of RBIs. Matt Chapman for Oakland, 2 for 4, a home run, a couple of RBIs. Um, let's see who else had big days yesterday. Brandon Lowe for the Rays, 1 for 3, had a home run, had an RBI, 2 runs scored. Josh Rojas for Arizona, he had a big day, 2 for 4, home run, an RBI, and a run scored. Pitchers yesterday, the White Sox had a doubleheader yesterday with so they were both 7 inning games. Folks, I'm loving these 7 inning doubleheaders. Now you have to understand that I did play by play. Vasu and I both did play by play in the minor leagues, so we're used to these 7 inning doubleheaders. And so we love the heck out of them because we know that it creates exciting baseball, because it's a different mindset for the players because they know they have less innings to get things done. So it creates a little more excitement because they don't lay back as much because they know they've got to get things done. Cease yesterday for the White Sox, first game went 7 innings, a complete game, if you will, in a shortened game. No earned runs, so it was a shutout. 3 hits, no walks, 9 strikeouts. Just let me bear down and go with it. And then in the nightcap in that game, Carlos Rondon went 6 innings, gave up 1 run. It was earned, 2 hits, 1 walk. Listen to this, 12 strikeouts. 12 strikeouts over 6 innings. Now, if you don't love that, you don't love baseball. I mean, that is great. That is great. Go with the flow, folks. Enjoy that. That is fantastic baseball. I don't care how many innings they're playing. That is fun baseball. So enjoy it. Kikuchi for Seattle yesterday. He pitched 7 innings of scoreless ball, 1 hit, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Trevor Bauer. Oh, get ready, folks. Trevor's starting to get used to being in Southern California. 8 innings, 2 runs, both earned, 4 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. And Chris Bassett for the Oakland A's, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. So Chris is back. Chris is back. White Sox, they took both ends of that double header, won the first one 11-0, 11 runs, 15 hits in a 7-inning ball game. Holy cow. They won the nightcap 3-1. Orioles beat the Yankees 4-3. Man, the Yankees. That's getting ugly. It really is. Mariners beat the Astros 1-0. Rangers beat the Red Sox 4-1. Diamondbacks beat the Rockies 5-3. So there you go. Oh, and the Brewers beat the Dodgers. I didn't realize that Bauer lost that game. Holy cow. Had that pitching line and lost? Fasu, what are the Dodgers doing? Where'd the hitting go? It'll come back. If you're a Dodgers fan, don't get uptight. They're fine. They're fine. Let's see here. Quickly, let's look at the standings in the East. Boston's still on top by 3 games. Finally, they have another team at 500. The Rays are at 13-13. Everybody else in that division is still under 500. In the Central, Chicago's at 14-10. They're still 2.5 up over Cleveland. Everybody else with a losing record there. In the West, Oakland at 16-10. Seattle at 14-12. The Angels at 12-11. Houston at 13-12, and then Texas at 11-15. So the West, we talked about early on in the before the season started, we thought the AL West would be competitive. By golly, we got that one right, guys. National League, we've got in the East a tie atop Atlanta and Philadelphia. They're both at 12-13. They're getting better. That's going to be the race, I think. The Mets, I think they're going to get things together. I think it's going to be a 3-way race there, and I think they're going to beat up on each other. So I don't think it's going to be great records. So unfortunately, if you're a fan of one of those 3 teams, I think only one team is going to come out of the Eastern Division. So Unfortunately, I think you're going to see some great baseball, but you're not going to get a wild card team out of there. I think that's going to be the problem there. In the Central, Milwaukee. Wow, the Brew Crew playing great baseball. Great baseball. So that's going on. St. Louis picking it up a little bit. They're at 13 and 12. Pittsburgh. Wow, they're at 500. Uh, Now, normally you would go 500. It's Pittsburgh. They're playing 500. Pirates fans. That's great. Keep your fingers crossed. What was it? I think 58 or 59 was the projected preseason total of wins. You got to be pretty happy right now. That's super. Cincinnati's really fallen off. They're at 11-13. Chicago, Cubbies at 11-14. Don't know. Don't know. That, we said before the season started, that could be a trade deadline see ya deal. Don't know yet. Keep going the way they're going. That's what's going to happen. And out west, the NL West. Yep, that's another one to watch because who's on top? Not the Dodgers. My grandson, who is a diehard San Francisco Giants fan, keeps calling me up and going, Grandpa, who's in first place in the West? And I have to keep going, Giants. So there you go. San Francisco Giants 16-9. Dodgers at 16-10. It's still going to be the Dodgers. Still going to be the Dodgers. I just take that to the bank, will you? It's going to be the Dodgers. San Diego's at 14-12, and they're going to pick it up. They're Arizona at 13-12, playing much better baseball. Poor Rockies. They're going to be in the cellar. Just don't doubt what's going to happen there. That's just going to be the case all season long. So let's take a look at tonight's matchups and see what we have there. The Cardinals are at the Pirates. The Pirates are the favorites. These are all the money lines. The Pirates are the favorites minus 120. Tigers are at the Yankees. And as you might figure, the Yankees are the favorites there minus 420. The Marlins and Nationals, that's in Washington. And Miami, the favorite minus 130. I'm so happy for the Marlins. I want baseball to work in baseball should work in Miami. It really should. And I'm just hopeful that they'll pull that together. Mets are at the Phillies. The Mets are the favorites minus 157 there. The Cubs are at the Reds. The Reds are the favorites minus 125. The Astros are at the Rays, and the Astros are the favorites minus 125. Braves at the Blue Jays. Toronto minus 130. Red Sox at the Rangers, and as you might guess, Red Sox minus 140. Royals at the Twins. This is interesting. Twins minus 145 on that one. If you like underdogs, you might want to do a little research on that game. Dodgers at the Brewers. Now, there's a must watch. There's a must watch. We're carrying that game on the radio tomorrow. Their game in their night game tomorrow. Milwaukee, the favorite, minus 111. Orioles at the Athletics. Oakland, the favorite there, minus 130. The Rocky, and you might want to look at that game. That might be an underplay. That's a night game. Not a lot of runs scored at night at Oakland. Rockies at the Diamondbacks. Arizona, minus 121. Angels at the Mariners. The Angels, minus 153. And finally, the Giants are at the Padres, and the Padres are the favorites, minus 195. So let's get back here, and I'm going to give you my picks for the day. Whoop, no, I don't want to create a banner. Hang on a second here. Yeah. Okay, there we go. And there are my picks. Thank you very much. And so there are my picks for today. I have 4. I'm going to start off in the National Basketball Association. And we're going to start off with Sacramento at the LA Lakers at Staples. And I got in early today. So I got the Lakers at minus 8. And I feel very comfortable with that because Sacramento, they're a mess. I really like Luke Walton. I cover this team. I like Luke as a person. I think Luke's a pretty good coach. I really do. I think he got a bad situation in L.A. When LeBron came in, and this is nothing against LeBron. Really, I'm not a LeBron hater. I think he was there, and LeBron came in, and when LeBron came in, it became LeBron's team. And if I owned the Lakers, if I was Jeannie Buss, and LeBron said he wanted to come in, I would say, LeBron, you're now the decision maker for basketball operations. Tell me what you want. Because I would want to win a championship. I'm paying a lot of money. LeBron's the superstar in the league at this point. What do you want? And he called the shots, and it didn't fit Luke. So Luke was gone. So they brought Luke to Sacramento. Luke got involved in a stinker of a situation here with basketball operations administration that was a mess. And he is now the victim of that. Things are going to get better in Sacramento, and Luke isn't going to be here because somebody's got to get blamed for this mess. They aren't going to fire the team, so they're going to fire Luke. And I feel really bad for that because he's a good guy and he's a good coach. And I don't know if he's ever going to get another head coaching job. I really don't, because when you fail twice in the NBA, it's really tough to get that third opportunity. I can see him going back to Golden State and being the number one assistant there because that was a great matchup. That was a great synergy there. He's a good guy. Doesn't deserve it. But that's a good bet tonight. Lakers. It's Lakers minus 10 now. I'd still take that. If it goes any higher than that, stay away from it. But Lakers minus 10 still a good deal. I went to the money line on the Portland Brooklyn game. It's not a great value game, but when you have the big three out, money line minus 145, you're gonna make some money on that game. Going over to baseball, Mets minus 150. You know what? That's not right. That didn't. Hey, let me double check this here. I apologize for that, but that should be Mets. Just a minute. Nope, that's right. Yep, Mets minus 150 in that game tonight. So I'm gonna take them on the money line there. I like that. And then my underdog play of the day. Casey will be happy with me. I played an underdog. I'm taking the Cubs plus 150 versus Cincinnati, and I believe Arrieta is on the mound in that game tonight. Let me see here. Everything's starting to. Yeah, Jake Arrieta is on the line on the mound tonight versus Wade Miley in that game. So that was part of the reason I like that pick. So I think that'll be good there. Although that game is in Cincinnati, so if you're thinking about playing a total, keep that in mind. It's in the bandbox. So there you go. So there are my plays. Wow. I've talked for almost 45 minutes, and you guys stayed with me. Thank you. Bless your hearts. I can't believe you did that. You're so kind. So you give an Irishman the opportunity to get in front of a camera and a microphone. You never know what's going to happen. Anyway, lots going on. NFL draft, lots of basketball, lots of baseball. So you got a lot to do this weekend. Have some fun. Don't wager what you don't have. If you're going to wager, do some research. Remember that first thoughts, first impressions. Think about that because you have those for a reason, but also do your research. And then most importantly, good luck. For Vasu Vadaparty, who's on assignment, for Casey Freelove, who's on assignment, I'm Charlie O. We'll see you next time.